You know, I was gonna do this entire bit on how I like to give butthole pleasure to reptiles and how I took a baby reptile and I raped it, but that would be too controversial and hardcore for a video like this. So instead, we're gonna uncover the history of another famous reptile who just so happens to be a human, MrRepzion. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Here is the history of MrRepzion. Daniel Sulzbach was born on December 5, 1991, somewhere in the majestic state of Washington, where he was the youngest of 3 children. Daniel describes himself as a very angry child, as he was always doing something mischievous that would get him into trouble, whether that was breaking $200 lights or smacking kids over the head with textbooks. He was very angry as he was uprooted from his neighborhood when he was just 6 years old. Think of Sid Phillips from the movie Toy Story, except way more angry and mischievous. But then again, we were all punks as kids, so whatever. Anyways, moving on. For most of his life, Daniel was a Christian. Now, what relevance does this have to his story? Well, there are 2 types of Christians. There are the ones who completely close themselves off from the outside world and just do whatever they're told and believe whatever they're told. God is good. God is real, Satan is evil, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you! And there are the ones who question what they're taught and like to challenge and debate others on the existence of popular figures in the lore of Christianity. What? God isn't real. The Adam and Eve story is a load of poppycock. It's not real. You're all being deceived, and I have the evidence to prove it. Of course, Daniel was the latter, which went about as well as you could expect, as he was the frequent target of bullying and ridicule at his church, so much so that he referred to it as the church from hell, which is quite funny as I never knew you could actually light a church on fire. Shortly after this, Daniel met his first girlfriend. Now, as much as I would like to show you a picture so you guys can see what she looks like, it doesn't exist, and if you're looking for a name, I can't provide that to you either. So we're gonna have to call her the Unnamed Mystery Woman. So, the Unnamed Mystery Woman and Daniel's relationship for a while was going pretty well. She was really horny. And I mean really horny. She was always trying to make her relationship with Daniel a sexual one rather than I'm going to get to know you type of relationship. She also forced Daniel, or more or less convinced him, to drop out of high school early and join the Run and Start program, which would get him into college when he was just 16, so they could go to college together. Now keep in mind, up until this point, Daniel was actually homeschooled, and so he had no knowledge of the outside world and was pretty socially inept. But he eventually agreed to this against the advice of his parents and went to college when he was about 16. But within the first few weeks of college, the Unnamed Mystery Woman broke up with him for reasons that are probably more convoluted than Batman v Superman. It soon got ugly, which led into a court case where she accused Daniel of not only harassing her, but of threatening to send cute, fuzzy little bunnies to her home. Okay, I'm kidding. She claimed that Daniel threatened to whack her. But, thankfully, this never held any water, as the court was convinced she had no evidence to back up what she was saying, and Daniel was able to successfully prove that she was lying. Score 1 for the man, I guess. When Daniel was 16 years old, he was raped by a close friend that went to his church. It was a Class C rape, otherwise known as sexual assault. It soon led to him cutting himself as a way to numb the pain and to drown in his sorrows. He highlights this in a video he made titled, "Truth Will Set You Free."
Because the more you internalize it, you will be depressed. You will be depressed. To the point, and to my reasoning, I attempted suicide. That's how bad it got. Self-harming is never right. It's wrong. It's a terrible thing. But the more you do it, the more destructive towards yourself you become.
The pressures of conforming to the religious lifestyle became so contentious for Daniel that at one point his parents actually banned him from watching The Amazing Atheist. One, because he's an atheist, and two, his parents' household was deeply religious. This also led him to suppress such actions as choking his chicken and watching good old-fashioned American porn. Slowly but surely, the pressures of trying to live up to the religious ideology took its toll on Daniel, and so he chose to leave it all behind. In 2012, he publicly announced that he was leaving religion to become a deist, and then 6 months later he became an atheist. And not long after that, he moved out of his parents' house into an apartment of his own in nearby Renton, Washington. As you can see, Daniel's early life has been filled with a lot of pain, heartache, and suffering. But he had something to say. He had a story to tell, and he did what all frustrated people do when they have a story to tell and they have something to say. He took to the internet! In 2007, Daniel created his first YouTube account, known simply as MrRepzion, in which he discussed his views on religion. In the name of the Holy Ghost, I am the most powerful being in the universe. I smite all those who oppose me and turn them into a nice, hot, delicious plate of fudge cakes. But that crashed and burned like the Hindenburg, so in 2009 he created another account by the name of MrRepzion. Among his earliest popular videos include Justin Bieber fangirl quotes destroyed, the numerous videos he made on a notorious troll named Eric, no, not that Eric, this Eric, and of course this. But what truly gained him notoriety were the numerous videos he made on notorious YouTube drama horror Onision. Not only are these some of his most popular videos, but in my opinion they're some of the most well-made videos in YouTube history. Him along with Stevie, aka SomeGuy827, popularized the trend of rants and responses towards Onision, calling him out on his bullshit. Literally everybody and their mother made rants about Onision. Hell, even I got in on it at one point. By the way, MrRepzion's videos on Onision is what inspired me to continue producing rants and commentaries. It's a fact. MrRepzion has a wide range of content to choose from video games to movies to music to religion to politics to feminism to self-worth to self-harm. Basically, he only does everything. In fact, since becoming an atheist, his entire channel has had a massive shift in direction. The videos are a lot more harsh, a lot more aggressive, a lot more emotional based. The tone is darker, the jokes are a hell of a lot more darker, and while the old Repzion wouldn't be caught dead dropping the F-bomb due to his religious upbringing, the new Repzion drops so many F-bombs that it would make even the most drunken hardened sailor blush. And on top of all that, he has a new series called Facepalm Sunday, in which he finds terrible videos on the internet and responds to them. Kinda like what I do. Hey, that's what I do. I created rants. I created responding. I created commentary. And this guy's just ripping it off. He's stealing from me. I could sue him for that. Wait, I can't trademark rants or commentaries, and I certainly am not the first person to do either one of those, and I certainly don't own them. Oh, wait. Scratch that, never mind, just move on to the next part. Alright, so I'm doing this in live action because I wanted to quickly talk about the whole Respect It controversy, because this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while now, and I think now is the perfect time to kind of talk about it. Now, if you don't know, the Respect It controversy happened back in 2013, and this is when Daniel, aka MrRepzion, said if he didn't get a girlfriend by the age of 25 that he was going to commit suicide, he was going to kill himself. And several people called him on it, like people ranging from Mundane Matt to I Must Destroy All to Skull Ripper 4900 to SomeGuy827 to official GATG, aka Stoutmeister. A bunch of people called him on it, and he quickly deleted the Respected video, and then he started DMCAing people that were talking about the whole Respected thing and calling it out for being bullshit and all this other stuff. Now, I followed it quite closely when it happened back in 2013. It's hard to believe it's really been that long. And from my perspective, I could kind of relate because I was a very angry, bitter, cynical, jaded person when I was in high school, and I just hated everything. I was never contemplating suicide or anything like that, but like when you believe that your life sucks, when you believe that you're so down in the dumps that no one loves you and that no one would care if you die, sometimes suicide does seem like a pretty viable option. So I can understand why he did it and why he said it, but I can also understand why people called him out, and I do think that he deserved to be called out for that, because doing something like that, especially on the internet, is generally not a good idea. Like, I mean, if he just said that he was feeling suicidal, then I don't think there would have been any problems. But the fact that he decided to then say, if I don't get a girlfriend, I'm going to kill myself at the age of 25, it kind of made it seem like he was more or less just doing it to be an attention whore, just doing it for attention. And then the fact that he filed DMCAs against people who were talking about it didn't help his case either. And you know, so I can understand why he did it. I just don't think he went about it in the best way. And even he admits that the whole respected thing was a mistake. He even made a video titled "Addressing Respected," and then he asked his fans to delete any trace of this video ever existing. And I don't think it does exist. If I can find it, I'll put it in the annotations above, if I can find a copy of it. I don't think it's anywhere on YouTube, though. But in the same realm, I can understand why people like Mundane Matt and I Must Destroy All and Skull Ripper and Stepmeister and many others called him out on it, and he did deserve to be called out on it, because, you know, like, it did seem attention horror-y, to say the least. And I don't think, by the way, that I Must Destroy All deserved to be DMCA'd, because he was just giving his honest opinion. And yeah, you know, I mean, and the funny thing about it is that I actually discovered Mundane Math through that whole thing. But I mean, I could go on for quite a bit about the whole respected controversy, but I don't want to go on too long. Those are just my thoughts on it, and I wanted to talk about it because even though this is a show about internet history, and I try to mostly talk about the good and the bad, I also want to talk about the controversies. Even though I like Daniel and respect him, I'm not a blind fanboy, so I can acknowledge when he's messed up or he's done some things that are kind of morally shady, if you will. So that's why I kind of talked about it, and it feels good to talk about it. So yeah. Anyways, on to my overall thoughts on MrRepzion. So while MrRepzion has made a lot of mistakes and he said some things that I've wholly disagreed with, he's done what many good YouTube content creators do. He's changed and evolved with the times. His content is funny, it's relatable, it's thought-provoking, it has substance. It actually has a reason to exist. It actually has a point. And I've been subscribed to him for 5 years, and I greatly admire and respect his work. And I will continue to stay subscribed to him as long as he continues to produce awesome content. I mean, he's made a lot of videos that I enjoy, and I think you'll enjoy him too. So if you're looking for somebody that's funny, thought-provoking, and relatable, and you're looking for something that actually has substance and covers a wide variety of topics, then by all means, go subscribe to MrRepzion. He is so awesome that if I tried to tell you how awesome he is, the earth would subsequently explode. So yeah, MrRepzion gets my Young Hero seal of approval. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. This is ThatKidDouglas, aka the Young Hero, signing out. Deuces, stay frosty and keep it weird. Cue an outro sequence now. Alright, 10 down, 9,000 more to go. So who's next?
Hello guys, I'm Sam Pepper. Today I'm going to be pinching girls' bums with my secret
What? No. No. Please, God, no. I thought you were gone. I thought you were gone. Why are you here? Why the hell are you here?
This way.
What's up?
You head down this way.
Yeah, like down there.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. Sam Pepper, you're going down.